As promised, I'm starting a second video for Door Kickers 2 Task Force North to show off details of the campaign mode. But before we do that, let's delve a little bit into the idea of squads. Squads is up here at the top right. Now you'll notice I have one squad, and I've been using this squad to play all the missions. I've got 20 completed missions, 16 failed missions, and right now it's deployed in the campaign subjugator. Um, but let's try a little something here. We'll notice there's no doctrine points or battle honors for this um, squad because I haven't earned any battle honors, which comes from campaigns, and I've spent the doctrine points. And remember, I showed this in the last video. Here's the current doctrine uh, for this team. The things that I've unlocked. All right, and here's equipment. Now I've unlocked some of the equipment here. We'll look at this at Jones, and he's got an M4 suppressed, but that's not the weapon he originally had. When the game started, the default weapon was the M16A4. I unlocked the M4 carbine using these star points. These are the stars you earn as you play missions, and I've completed several dozen missions, and I've used a lot of those points. But let's do a little something here, and I'll show you a detail that I'm sure will come up if you start playing the game, saying, well, why not just create another squad, because right now squad Alpha 1 is tied up in Subjugator. So I could do another campaign by starting another squad. Well, let's do that. We obviously don't want the same name, so we'll call it Alpha 2. And we'll create it. And there's Alpha 2. Now, we can see right up there at squad level, it's squad level 1. It's not earned any points. Doctrine, it has no doctrine. This is what I wanted to show, that squads earn doctrine points individually. Just because a squad you've been using has advanced up the or down the doctrine tree, it doesn't mean that another squad will. So that's doctrine. So we'll close that. So, however, equipment, let's look at Private Draco here. And you notice he has the M16A4 rifle. That's the default rifle that you'll get when you start a squad. But the M4 carbine is already unlocked. You don't have to spend any points to unlock it. So, the point here is start a new squad, and doctrine starts off at 0. Battle honors will start at 0. But equipment, you can use equipment that you've unlocked previously using another squad. Star points, that's what I call them, star points, are not restricted to any one squad. If you earn star points, you can send them by any squad, and the equipment that you unlock is unlocked for all squads. So, and I'll just delete this squad so I don't accidentally use it, because as you'll think about it, you really don't want to have more than one squad, because you'll only earn doctrine points for the one squad, and you start using another one, you don't have any doctrine points unlocked for it. You have to go through the whole process again. So what you'll think about then is, I'm only going to create a squad if I really need one. And the reason you would do it, I'll just click the button here again, is that you don't just have Rangers, but you also have a CIA unit that's locked right now, and Noratsky SWAT. This is a Eastern European SWAT team. I've done some videos that include the missions on them. They have sort of a mix of Eastern and Western weapons. Kind of an interesting idea, but we won't do anything with that right now. Alright, so now that we talked about squads so we can understand the idea of squads, we'll go to campaigns. Alright, we're ready to talk about campaigns now. Here's campaigns. This is the campaign interface. There are two types of campaigns. There are tours of duty, and I'll get to those in a minute. And then there are operations. There's 4 operations in the game right now. One of them's locked. And I've been playing the first operation, which is Subjugator. We'll continue that. so that I can show you the details. But first, before I do that, let's go to the interface. And here's what the interface looks like for Subjugator. Now, I've already played part of this mission. The first operation was on the first day, which is Operation Surprise. I'll click it, we'll see the button. It says 3 minutes and 25 seconds to do it. I had one player injured, 6 boy, who got a promotion. Now, on the second day, 2 operations had to be done. They're not in parallel, but they are on the same day, which means you can choose one and then you choose the other. You can choose which order you do them in, but you have to take people from the same 20 squad members. For the mission Stakeout, I had one soldier incapacitated afterwards, but we did accomplish the mission. For the second mission on that same day, on day 2, Operation Safeguard, I had a soldier killed, that's Macaulay, and 3 injured. Now, we're on the third day of Operation Subjugator. This is the actual mission. Now, you'll notice something before we start that. Let's look over here. You got people who are already injured and people who are seriously injured. That's red. If we select the mission and we can look at the mission briefing, there's bombs and it's a night mission. Now, here's the interface. I don't want to really talk too much about this mission because those of you getting the game don't want to have the surprise ruined. But there's nothing here that you wouldn't see anyway when you play the game. But let's look at one of the interesting aspects of this. Let's identify one of the soldiers in here. I'm going to have to zoom in a little. That's Colt. Here's Colt. Colt's fine. Colt's in good shape. But let's replace Colt with Biggles, who is injured. If I do that...
Affirmative.
Biggles shows up as normal. But when you start playing with him...
Lock and load. Let's do this.
You'll see Biggles shows as already injured, which means he's more likely to go to seriously injured or killed or incapacitated if he receives a wound. So, that's why we'll restart the mission. That's why you don't want to pick somebody for the mission who is injured or seriously injured. But that's how the assigning of personnel to these missions go. As you go further into the operation and you start another mission, you'll have soldiers who are injured. Now, what I can't show you, because this is the start of a third day, is operators who are tired. Remember I showed you this when we did the mission Stakeout? I had operators who came out of it not injured, but they were fatigued. If you try to start the next mission on the same day with those people who are fatigued, they will be affected by their stats. In other words, for instance, Colt here would lose some of her field skills, assault shooting, and marksmanship points if the person is fatigued. So, there is an oddity in this, and it's been addressed in the questions and answers. And I don't know what the devs intend to do. If you are injured and you play again, you're still injured, you're more likely to get more seriously injured or killed. However, it does not affect your stats. If you are fatigued, your stats are affected, but you're not more likely to get injured because your stats are affected. The question comes is, if you're injured, shouldn't you also be fatigued? And right now, I don't think that's decided on. Being injured and being fatigued are two separate states. You can't be both injured and fatigued right now. So it's a minor point, and I really think for practicality it makes no difference when you play the game. All right, so that's an operation, and I hope I've explained it well enough here. I realize I've rambled a little bit, but I want to understand is these are scripted campaigns. The missions within the campaign are all scripted. The starting locations, the maps, the freedom the player has is to select the units that they want for it and actually play out the mission. But each of the missions themselves are already predefined, pre-rolled. All right. Now let's talk about the other type of campaign. Ooh, my voice broke a little bit. I'm still getting over a cold here. Which are tour of duties. That's these two here. Now, what's the interesting thing about tour of duty and how are they different? Well, I can't use my Alpha Squad because they're busy right now on Subjugator. So, we'll do what we saw before and we will create a squad. New squad, which we'll call Delta 3, create, back, go to the mission interface. So that we're again just going to use a dummy squad just to show this off. And this is what it looks like. So I've selected Delta 3, who's available. I've got my 20 members of Delta 3. And here's the description of the mission. It's the background for it, the backstory. There is an Iron Man mode available. Iron Man means there's no restarts. Once you start playing a mission and you screw up, you're committed to getting through it. Permadeath. As it says right there, when those troopers die and this campaign is done, you don't get back that same experienced trooper. You get back a rookie trooper or operative or whatever you want to call it. That means that if you're playing with some squad that you've been playing on for quite a while and you've really got that guy up high and he's gotten promotions and you've got all sorts of uh, experience on him and their skill points are up and he gets killed, then he gets replaced with a rookie. So you have to decide whether or not you want to do that. Finally, the other thing about Iron Man is you get double the stars, double the battle honors, and double the XP. And of course, XP helps increase the level of your squad, which unlocks uh, the doctrine points. All right, so we'll turn off Iron Man here in just a. There's something else to show you here, and that's the random seed number. There's no little button to randomize the random seed number. I don't know why you think there was, but you can just type any old random number in there because these campaigns are generated using that random seed. We'll click the button and see here. You see down in the bottom right it says generating. It's actually building a series of missions for you with a random mission generator, and I'll show that to you in a few minutes. There we go. Here you go. And this is day 1 of 7. I don't know if they're all exactly 7 days long. I haven't played enough of them. So we have a new mission available. 20 troops are available. And you'll also notice something too. You start down here at the bottom, and it shows the symbol, clear hostages, and it's a pretty impressive looking map. It's a night map, and of course, your rangers can be equipped with night vision goggles. It's a good size map too. And 8 is the number of operatives, and I believe 8 is the maximum limit you can have in a squad. So we're going to quit this mission. And you see it's got the random seed listed down at the bottom right. So this is really what a tour of duty campaign is. We can abandon it or resume it. We'll just abandon it right now. Now we'll go back to this exact same one. We've still got our Delta 3. We've got a different random seed number. And we'll start it. And again, it's going to generate the campaign. Da, 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 da. You play the Jeopardy music now. Yeah, of course. Here we go. Now, see, this is the same tour of duty campaign, Only now there's 3 missions available on the first day. It's 7 days again, so I think maybe that's the number. And you'll notice that there are 3 different locations available and symbolism. This says you can start this mission in the next 3 days, Operation Wild Gambit. And if you notice, the map kind of looks like the last one, only it's oriented in a different direction. There's a data bank of maps that they use. We also have one which is a hostage rescue, which has 2 days remaining. And you'll notice the little symbol that says you get additional XP, get bonuses. And then finally, there's one here that's 2 missions, got 2 days remaining, and it's a hostage rescue as well. And it also says you get intel. That's that little symbol there. And it says some missions require access to intel. So this mission will give you intel. So that means that there's going to be missions on the map that until you play a mission that gives you some intel, you can't unlock them. So it's kind of cool. It gives a big replayability value. Now we're going to back out of this, and we'll go back to the main menu. And I'm going to delete that other squad so I don't forget to do it. And ta-da! Now I'm going to show you one more thing, and then we'll get finished with this video. And that's the random mission generator. I alluded to this in my first video. On the left-hand column, there's all the different categories of missions that can unlock. And at the very bottom is the mission generator. See, I'll show you these. The new guys, welcome. There's that one. Now we'll go to the mission generator. You can have any map size. Map type is a sort of indicator of map size. Apartments are small, medium, large maps. Opposition strength very light, all the way up to very heavy. Mission type, clear hostiles, hostage rescue, or abduction. Abduction means there's a high value target on the map. You have to capture him and escort him off the map. So let's just leave. We'll pick middle. We'll pick middle map, and we'll do a clear the hostiles. I'll hit the button to generate a random map. Hit the button, and there it is. There's a random map. Now, once you've played this game a number of times, like I have, you'll recognize this map. Its orientation is different than you've seen in some situations, and the starting locations are different. But that's because they use a database of maps, so you'll see them different ways at different times. So that's how the mission generator works. And that's when you play a campaign like the tour duties, like these two here, it generates missions using the random mission generator. Sorry, wrong button. Yeah, there it is, the random mission generator. All right, I think that's all I'm going to talk about right now. I'm going to go back and edit this video, and then I'll post it.